Hello, my name is satk0 and I've made a plugin for r2 project called afen, and I'm happy to present it to you. And before I start, I would like to say thanks to Pancake for making it all possible and believing in me. So, to start, who am I? I'm just a student at Rzeszów University of Technology in Poland, and I'm trying to contribute to r2 project, and that's basically it. The whole motivation behind making this plugin was to extend afvn command to support more instructions than variables. I mean expressions, basically, because variables are also expressions. As you can see, I just explained it with this small notion. Expressions returns a value, so variables are also expressions, but yes, the opposite to the expressions, the structures that don't return value, are instructions. And I was surprised to see that the plugin that I made is also capable, is also possible to rename instructions with it. So it can rename almost everything. Almost, because there are some exceptions, like some variables with strings, I suppose, but I can show it later on. So how do you go about setting this all up? Assuming that you have already installed r2pm and upgraded its packages, you can just run it with ci flag and install afen. Then, to run it, you just use this long command that I have in my Git repository, so no worries, and include the file that you want to work on. And what are the examples of the renamings? So I attached here an image that shows the exactly workings of this plugin. You just run the commands here to replace this not really saying much expressions like rbp -9 or the harder one, rbp plus rax -9, because sometimes you have some loops and it involves more registers than the one, so it's hard for rather to really resolve it to the variable, because rbp -9, it would make it possible via a command, but not the rbp plus rax -9. It's impossible. That's why I've made this whole plugin, just to have the possibility to rename such an expression. And for now, you have to be cautious, because excluding spaces is not supported, so you have to write the spaces manually when executing afen commands. and the whole implementation is so simple that it's possible to be shown at one slide. So it's based on r2con and r-parse APIs, and it involves only one hash table that stores keys as function pointers and values as renamings. These renamings are just structs that have old names and the newest names. I separated it with the semicolon to distinguish the old name and the new name that are bold, like Eddie to string I, for instance. And now I would like to move to using terminal, so stay tuned. Alright, right now I would like to update my r2pm packages, so I would just run this command. Okay, everything works, so we can move on to installing the r2 afen, and it would not take long. Yeah, it's installed. So now you can just straight up run anything. As you can see, I have some main code set up before, and I would like to show you the whole structure of the C code here. So as you can see, we have the test string that is pass with 10. It's so brutal. Okay, never mind. I wasn't paying attention when I was writing this, but nevertheless, when it's compilable, so I managed to compile it, and the most important thing about this is that we use the for loop so that we can index the test string that was written before. And just to run it, you specify the options like assembler, parser, afen, and the fact that you want to use the pseudocode, because otherwise it would not work. So running this, we have some error because I was not using true with pseudo, so yeah, okay, now it's working. It shows warnings, but it's working. We can move on to the main function. We can see that it's just an assembler, and the thing that I was not expecting when I was even making this presentation is that we can actually rename symbols like this one, sim imp printf. If I paste it here and rename it to pf, I don't know why I use quotes, but maybe it matters, I don't know. It's possible to rename it, but I'm afraid that this one, I don't know how to name it. Let's name it temp-c. I think it will not work. It's the kind of thing it's not pressing. Yes, it's not working. We have some substitution to the format string inside the printf, and it's not possible for afen to change it. I don't know why is this happening, but it's really sad that I don't have the possibility to change it. But nonetheless, you can rename everything, like this whole magical number of 0 something register, to be named as I don't know, num, and yes, it works. You can see it right there. Yeah, and you can rename the instructions as I told you. So we can run this renaming to jump for GLE, and it works, even though it only renamed it, like the whole assembly instruction behind it's still the same, so we only see it different. So basically, like, I open the wrong window, we can also make the emojis. We can use emojis in afen, so we paste it here, and when we run PDF we can see that everything was changed. But what's kind of broken, I think, is that even though it was replaced, GLE was replaced to jump, the kangaroo with less than sign was used for GLE, even though I thought that the normal kangaroo would be used. But nevertheless, we can make anything we want, basically, and that's the beauty of this plugin. It allows to mess up the whole assembler, at least to be viewed as messed up. So yeah, that's the beauty of this whole function. But unfortunately you cannot change this strange symbol, this strange string. Maybe someday I would manage to make it work so that you can just change it, but basically you can change everything like on a piece of paper. So changing EAX to something like the register would be as easy as writing this. I don't know why someone would do this, but it's possible. Alright, so for the future it would be great if you present me some issues with the plugin. It would be great if you use my plugin so that I could improve it even more, because it's hard to tell really what are the ideas for the future. But nevertheless, Pancake have made me a list of the things that I can improve on. So one such a thing would be to use more complex constructions, enabling it so that you don't have to write spaces manually when replacing some expressions. And another thing would be to be prepared for rparse API to be changed, and it would be a great challenge to work on this plugin when the R2 would be totally different on the version 6.0, and I'm glad to change my plugin according to this. And another thing would be to use r2gs to execute some functions when needed. And what's more, it would be great if you don't have to write this whole long strings one by one and use, for instance, regular expressions to rename more strings with the same new string. And of course, R2 enables users to provide many options as a flags, so afen is not respecting it. So it would be great if it was possible, but for now I'm quite happy at the state that the afen plugin in the state it is. So yeah, I would like to thank you all for watching this whole presentation and paying attention, and I hope you enjoy r2con. See you.